there's so much surrounding this particular case. Just before we get to other issues, just a moment ago, Honor Personality Dr. Freeze made a live video on Instagram, I think on Facebook as well, because some names have been mentioned as regards this particular case. Some names has been mentioned, but just how would you respond to these very big names, being mentioned in this particular case?
Lots of names have been mentioned. Okay, a lot of names came out, and you have to understand the way I work as a journalist. Okay, Nigerians have never believed in my work, and now they suddenly believe in it. There are people you call sources in the investigation. These are officers, FBI agents, and everybody in the investigation. To be an investigative journalist, you need to know people in the investigation. Such people will tell the journalist, please don't mention my name, and that's it. Now, one of my FBI sources asked me in 2020, who is Bukola, who is Dino, who is Linda, who is Daddy Freeze? And I told the FBI source that Bukola Saraki is a politician. Dino Malaya is a politician. Linda Ikeji is a blogger, and the blogger he told me to apologize to. Daddy Freeze is a journalist and media personality. Now, fast forward to 2021. Mr. Honorable Bukola Saraki has nothing to do with the Hush Puppy investigation. You will not hear his name in it, and you will never hear anything about Bukola being buddies with Hush Puppy. There's so many rumors about Saraki. And I gotta tell you this, the parties are getting involved in this. They tried it last year, and Saraki told them he had nothing to do with Hush Puppy. He's got nothing to prove. You see, the APC got into it saying, okay, they must investigate. The PDP got into it either way, because it's been in both parties. He's got nothing to do with it. There's no paper trail, nothing. Linda Ikeji, I don't know about. The people that know have fake accounts. Linda laundered money for Hush Puppy. There is no proof, okay, until the FBI has proof. The FBI is not the EFCC. Nigerians don't understand how the Federal Bureau of Investigation works. I lived 32 years in that country, okay? The FBI has information in declassified files. 4 top officials have arrived in Lagos, Abuja. They have declassified files. They have put some of them as declassified, and that's what you're hearing now. A lot of those files have not been declassified. Many of those things are still classified, and when they come out, this week will be shaken. I'm telling you. So now let me tell you the synopsis of this, because let me go back to Malaya. Dino Malaya has said that he has nothing to do with Hush Puppy other than meeting him in Dubai and taking a photo. Okay, I actually believe Dino as well. Dino and Bukola, maybe a photo, maybe something. They're not in this investigation. Don't get me wrong, unless they have proof. The same with Linda Ikeji. What we're looking at are top police officers. President Buhari needs to be watching this TV channel right now, because the NPF is about to collapse, and we cannot let the police collapse. The amount of money that we're getting for the Nigerian police force is a lot, and it's coming from the Western sources. If the United States pulls out of this, every country will follow. We gotta wake up. The average Nigerian's gotta wake up, because what is going on now with banditry, kidnappings, and every manner of crime in this country, it is happening because of what's going on in the police force. Now, this is where everybody needs to listen, because I did a lot of research about this. The Nigerian police force consists of different divisions, okay? Right now, Mr. Kyari has been suspended, okay, from duty. There was a man talking before you brought me in that said we give 7 days to the IGP to fire Kyari. This is not a firing alone. We can fire people in Nigeria, we can remove them. But if they've looted, we have to lock them up. What the Nigerian government has been doing for all these years is allowing politicians to loot and go. Okay, we got to collect the money back. Let me start this way. There is an SIP. This is for the ordinary person listening. the Special Investigative Panel of the Nigerian Police. It consists of one CSP, one AIG, and two DIGs. These guys determine the case, if it's going to be extradition for Kyari or prosecution for Kyari here. The SIP needs to know what they are doing because we are on the verge of a collapse. Now, when you have a complaint by a citizen, I was harassed by police in Aja, and I harassed the police officer back. The whole of Nigeria saw it, okay? I harassed him right back, I disciplined him, and I told him, you can't tell me to open my bag. This was the days of task force and SARS. If I reported that police officer, he apologized to me in the end. If I apologized, if I reported him, and he was really serious, like say he killed somebody or injured somebody, he will go through an orderly room trial. But if a senior officer is involved like Kyari, he has to go through the PSC, Police Service Commission. Okay? Police Service Commission now has to install the SIP, Special Investigative Panel, with the one CSP, two DIGs, and one AIG. Those guys need to know what they're doing. The FBI has arrived on Monday night, a week tomorrow. They came with files. Some of the files are declassified. Others have not been released. Okay, if you remember Pablo Escobar was caught in traffic. He did a traffic offense. Okay, they didn't catch him for the drugs and all that. They caught him for traffic. Okay, Kyari is supposedly have done some really bad things. And now they have caught Kyari because of hush puppy. Now, let me say something to you. I am appealing to the IGP. Okay, this is the time when you need Adamu here. They fired him. Okay, did Adamu shut them down? I don't know. But Usman Alkali, Usman Baba Alkali, the IGP right now, okay, everybody there now, Frank Kumba is the spokesperson. They got to give him back the right information to put out as the spokesperson. They have to protect the institution of the Nigerian police. They have to make it happen. They have to prove to the public that something will happen. Okay? This is not about the Fulani or Yoruba, because I'm hearing people saying, oh, Fulani police. Cut that Nnamdi Kanu BS away. We don't need it. Nnamdi Kanu was very tribal. Yoruba nation was tribal. This is not about that. Okay? This is about a corp, a unit that's supposed to be arresting fraudsters. Now that unit is accused of fraud and associating with a global fraudster. Now, his hush puppy is controlling the DCP of the fraud unit. We have lost our legitimacy. Now, my opinion on this show on Galaxy TV is my opinion. It's not Galaxy's opinion, if you're watching. What we need to do, President Buhari, shut down everything. The IRT, Intelligence Response Unit, okay, and the Special Tactical Squad, shut it down. Go to Toronto Police. Tell Toronto Police to arrive in Nigeria, pay them and let them train a new squad. We must replace the criminal cartels within our police department. Okay, I work for Toronto Police as a community volunteer. They get people from Dutch, Holland, Amsterdam police trains with them.
Well, thanks for staying with us. This is Firecrackers. Indeed, so much to talk about as regards this particular issue as we examine and dissect these very weighty allegations against DCP Abba Kyari. Well, investigative journalist, public affairs analyst, and pharmacist Dr. Kemi Olunloyo is standing by with us. Dr. Kemi, just a moment ago, I mean, you were sharing your thoughts with us, but again, this particular case, what similarities can be drawn with that of the former EFCC chairman, for starters?
Mr. Magu was also accused of corruption. What I'm saying to you here, before we went on the break, I was very passionate. I was angry. And the reason I'm angry is because this is a beautiful country. Nigeria is the most beautiful country in the world. We are now labeled fraudster country, everything fraudster. People like Hush Puppy have changed the avenue of fraud. When people at MAGU are removed, okay, this is why our children cannot do what they need to do. We do not have access to Apple Music. All these young musicians, they can't even listen to their own music on Apple Music. They can't subscribe because their credit cards, their debit cards cannot enter. All the banks have banned our debit cards. Even me, I'm carrying a Bank of America debit card from America. They have to call me to see who's trying to log in with my card. We have a lot of issues. Kickstarter, GoFundMe, PayPal, everything banned because Nigeria is a fraudster country. Now, when Maggie was arrested, we didn't hear anything after that. What I was talking about is that if Hush Puppy is controlling the DCP of the fraud unit, we've lost legitimacy. What I want the government to do is to shut everything down for now. Let us shut the IRT and the STC, Special Tactical Squad, and the intelligence response units. They are disguised. They are on the roads. They are disguised, okay, as other units, but it's still SARS at the end of the day. The criminal cartels within the police department are very many, okay? They're showing up around town as SARS. We have to destabilize the criminal cartels in the Nigerian police. If I were the minister for police affairs, you see what's going on in our government is that everybody's putting their friends in office. Paddy governments. Okay, put the right people in government. The people with ideas like me have no power, and the people with power have no ideas. You are the minister for police affairs. You're supposed to get rid of people. Bloodbath. We did it at the Baltimore Police Department in Maryland. You get rid of the criminal cartels within the police department. This is why Kyari is saying that if they extradite him, he's going to call names. They know who they are. That's why the PSC has to be transparent. If the PSC is not transparent, they're going to be shaking themselves. They're going to cleanse them. Let me tell you something. The PSCs, this is why the PSC is very important. The Police Service Commission, tomorrow morning, they're going to install a special investigative panel. I think they've done it today because they've announced that Kyari is suspended. One CSP, two DIGs, one AIG. These guys need to determine, they're the ones going to determine if this case is extradited or prosecuted here. Let me tell you about what Adamu Garba said, that lawmaker, saying that we're a sovereign nation. You can't just come from the FBI and say, oh yeah, you are going with us. It's true. Right now, Kyari can't travel out of Nigeria because the first country he arrives in, that's where they're going to carry him like Hush Puppy. Extraordinary rendition. Okay? The EFCC cannot investigate people in office. You understand that? They cannot investigate people in office. That's why they said it's a police matter. That's why they cannot investigate Kyari. Okay, Hush Puppy is a horrible person. Horrible person. If you watch Mumfa yesterday with Daddy Freeze, did you watch Mumfa and Daddy Freeze? If you watch Mumfa yesterday with Daddy Freeze, Mumfa said it. He never listened to anybody, okay? He never listened to anybody and he was up to destroying people. If I sit down there and tell you this now, that Abike Dabiri, she needs to get her work ready. We have more than 30 Nigerians in Dubai prison now that Hush Puppy put in there. Lied on them, said something that they didn't do, and they're locked up in Dubai prison. Innocent Nigerians. That's why Dabiri needs to go over to Dubai and get those boys free and find out what their crime is. Hush Puppy was whining and dining with Dubai police. He put all his boys in prison. One day, Dubai police turned on him. They're the ones that handed it over to the FBI, the Secret Service, and Interpol. Now all our kids are there suffering, called Yahoo boys. And he was the master Yahoo boy. You know what I mean? So what we have to do now, talking about EFCC, Bukola Saraki, yesterday we heard he was reportedly arrested. Mr. Saraki was not arrested. Okay? Somehow they want to link him to Hush Puppy. I've told you, Bukola has no association with Hush Puppy. Bukola Saraki has won every single case on top of him with regards to corruption. When he was a governor, when he was in the Senate, when he was president, he's won almost every single case. Now, Saraki heard there was another case coming up and he voluntarily left, okay, a wedding to go to the EFCC himself. When I reported it yesterday, I said, I'm hearing that Bukola Saraki reportedly, that's why you have to understand how words work in journalism, reportedly arrested. Some people say, oh, it's a lie, it's fake news, it's at a wedding. Bukola went in voluntarily to get questioned by the EFCC, and he left and went back home. So he wasn't arrested, and he's not linked, okay, because the FBI has investigated all of them. And I believe Hush Puppy is a liar. Linda, Dino, and Bukola are not associated with his fraud money, because what he did with Kiari was he left a paper trail. Kiari does not know. Kiari was joking. He was saying, those people that think they're going to arrest me, it's a joke. Kiari's not tweeting. He's not posting anymore. His pages are offline. It's not a joke. Hush Puppy has a trail. Okay, it's EFCC. EFCC is dramatic. Okay, everybody needs to be cleansed in the EFCC. Every single person in the EFCC. This is a cartel of criminals. We have a cartel of criminals in the police. We have a cartel of criminals in the EFCC. They've locked a lot of young people out there. We've told them, create an amnesty program. Release all the young people in EFCC custody. Give them to us, okay? Don't release them to the streets yet. Release them in an amnesty program where we can train them in tech. Tech is the new oil. Young people are making money from tech. When they started Bitcoin, look what Patricia did. Patricia became a billionaire. He left $1 billion for Big Brother Nigeria as a sponsor. Okay, as soon as Patricia made his money, boom, you now cancel Bitcoin. You ban Bitcoin. Let his children work. Okay, my son lives in this house, 20 years old. He does Bitcoin. He made money, 7,000 naira turned into 100,000 in a week when he searched. But he has an account in America. He's American. These kids don't have accounts in America. They have accounts locally, and you ban them from Bitcoin. What do you want them to do? Now they're kidnapping. They're banditries. They're doing all this stuff. You have no police to handle that. What is happening now? All the banditry, kidnapping is the work of the police. Abba Kyari caught two very vicious kidnappers, Wadume and Evans. He's supposed to be catching all the rest now. Abba Kyari is supposed to be catching the kidnappers who took the kids from Greenfield in Kaduna and all this kidnapping in Kaduna. No, he wasn't doing that, because we have a criminal cartel who is not doing their jobs. This is why we have this.
All right, so thanks for staying with us. This is Firecrackers. This is the second part of the show. Now we'll try to wind down on our conversation with Dr. Kemi in just a moment. But I need to mention that we are streaming on our Facebook platform as well as on Instagram. I hope you are with us and following the conversation tonight as we get some perspective. Dr. Kemi, I'm not going to let you go until I get your views about some issues about the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm saying that again because this was not part of our conversation earlier. Because as I mentioned earlier, we are expecting 4.8 million doses in the country in just a few hours on Monday. We'll talk about that in just a moment. As we begin to round off now, but let me just ask this question. The chart between Daddy Freeze and Mofa, I mean, because Nigerians have been saying, look, Daddy Freeze, you're next.
Yeah, I want to comment on that.
Mofa, you're next. Was this a deliberate move by Daddy Freeze to probably maybe free himself, if you may, from these particular allegations?
Let me explain that part for you. That video that was done last night, I was asleep. I actually woke up and I came to the very tail end of the video. If you look at the very tail end of the video, Monfa shouted, I think I don't enter. She don't let go. Okay, let me tell you exactly why that was done. The reason why Freeze did that video, I really was very happy that Freeze brought in Monfa. We have to do another video with me, Freeze, Monfa, and Sam Clef. We're going to do something. Let me tell you why he came in. Daddy Freeze is not a suspect, nothing. Daddy Freeze was in a critical situation with Hush Puppy. And that situation came out in the news recently. And I also mentioned it when I went to the other TV station, Arise News. You see, the key to the arrest of Hush Puppy was a phone call he got when he was with Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze had dinner with Hush Puppy in his house. As a journalist, he traveled to Dubai on vacation. He wanted to see Hush Puppy's house. You know, I do that too. I want to use every opportunity as an interview. So while he was interviewing him, and Hush Puppy was boasting about what his driver makes, his cleaner makes, I mean, all these salaries and huge things, something happened during that phone call. I don't know whether the video is still on Freeze's page or he took it down or whatnot, but on the video, there was a point where they were eating that Hush Puppy said, excuse me, I need to take a phone call. He went inside a room. That phone call inside the room is what the FBI played to international journalists. You can see the conversation on Bloomberg, the financial magazine in America. What's up, bro? That's Hush Puppy. Alamari, Galeb Alamari, the mastermind, the hacker. Alamari, yeah, money came in. Really? Hush puppy. Okay, send me a screenshot. Alamari said, I just got down on the plane in Toronto. It's in Canada, it was on a plane. The signal is poor. Let the plane hit the terminal. You know when you land on a plane, the signal is back, but it's poor until the plane
Well,
enters
press for
the
time
terminal.
again. I would like to take you
back.
up on some areas as regards to the recommendations by the IGP, who has of course suspended Abba Kyari.
Okay.
The IGP.
Wait.
I'm not sure if you can hear me now. According to the police boss,
you let me finish what I was
he says,
saying.
and I quote, the suspension is to create an enabling environment for the NPF Special Investigation Panel to carry out its investigations into the weighty allegations against Abba Kyari. I'm just going to ask you, just maybe in 6 seconds or less, you can just respond to it. Do you think this is indeed going to create that environment, that enabling environment, according to the police boss?
Kelly, I already answered that question. You asked me a question about Monfa, Hush Puppy, and Daddy Freeze, and I was about to give you critical information, and you cut me off. It's important to hear that part. Galeb Alomari just landed in Canada, and the FBI was waiting for him in the terminal. They arrested him. Okay, it's very important you hear that part. That was then when everything turned into Hush Puppy not controlling all the money, okay, that they had stolen together. It was at Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze was with him when that phone call came. That's why they're trying to involve Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze has no record with the FBI, nothing. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he did not do anything. There's no paper trail between them. That was the question you asked me. And the Monfa part is very important. Monfa has nothing to do with Hush Puppy. I investigated Monfa. Monfa brought Hush Puppy to Dubai as a gesture. People bring other people from home to come and be in a good land. On the very day Monfa brought Hush Puppy to Dubai in 2007, June 2007, was the very same day that he was arrested. It was the very same day he was arrested. 3 years in Dubai, okay? With what the IGP is saying, it's all rhetoric. The IGP needs to do action. I've told you what they have to do. They must suspend the IRT and the STC. There is a criminal cartel within the police department. They need to root all of them out. If they don't do that in the SIP, the Special Investigative Panel this week, Kyari will do it for them. Kyari will list all of them. IGP, he has 6 IGPs that he's going to list. Do the right thing. Suspend the entire thing. Okay? When you suspend the IRT and the STC, get more police officers on the street, because crime is going to go up in Nigeria. Crime is going to go up, but people must protect themselves. Public safety is jeopardized. But he must do it, because if he doesn't do it, there are 3 IGPs in the police report, in the FBI report. 3 IGPs, he must mention their names. So Usman Al-Khali has to take action now. Okay, these people are not going to speak to the media, but there are people inside that will speak to me. Let us save the Nigerian police. Don't let them destabilize our country. It is going to cause an increase in crime. If they close the IRT and STC, disguising as SARS, they must put more police officers out on the streets. They must work with the communities, because people will become vigilantes. I'm telling you, I don't care about the statement of the IGP. The IGP needs to do the right thing. They need to get that information to Frank Mba. Frank Mba needs to get that information out to the Nigerian media. I am not the Nigerian media. I am a US trained investigative journalist. That's it.